We are at the Atlantic Yacht Basin, and we are hauled out. To do what? More boat work, of course. We're at the Atlantic Yacht Basin, and we are going in for a haul out this morning. First time. Always the first time makes it a little more interesting. Coming through this little channel. I have my lines ready. Because they're really nice and help you with the lines. It's nice. Eric says he's in there watching the depth. He's not sure he's in the right place. And here's how we get to the haul out place. Kind of cool. Kind of looks right though. Distin, what are you doing? She gets anxiety and poops as we dock. Wow, it's further in here than I thought. There are all kinds of boats that are moored in here. This was deceiving. You know where you're going now? Forgot my sunglasses. Wow, my adrenaline's going. So, we're in this narrow little area, and there she is. Eric was on the wrong steering for a second there and really made things exciting. But now I don't have to crawl off the boat. I can do it, but this is pretty exciting not to have to do it. How you feeling?
We got that done. It took a little while to get into the dock, but we got her into the dock. It's a little embarrassing. No wind, no current, no nothing, just pilot error. Yeah. Anyway.
So what was the pilot error?
So if I go back and think about it, what it should have done, it should have been stopped before I got to that corner, and then started shoving the stern end around. I had enough forward momentum that it pushed me beyond the fairway.
Well, you'll have it next time.
Yeah. Well, we had an audience too.
Yep. Yeah, they were watching. See, look at this. We don't have to drive it all the way in. We just had to get it to the dock. And now they're just pulling the boat forward onto the sling.
I've seen their hoodies, and I think they have like a sport fish, maybe even a 50 on the back of their graphic on their hoodies.
We're just talking about whether or not that lift is big enough for a boat. We just haven't seen a lift this small. But they seem to know what they're doing. Coming out of the water. It's like watching a conductor. pretty good though, huh?
You guys getting the bottom redone?
No, we weren't going to.
Squirting it. Yeah, pressure washing.
It was washed. It was painted last year.
Looks pretty good for that. It's just the pollen.
Just the what?
Pollen.
Oh, is that it?
That's what most of the scum line is, all that pollen.
Oh yeah, there is a lot of pollen. Yeah. He's looking at this stuff. It
Yeah,
needs, and we're doing that.
You know, port side fish.
Drag that.
Oh, really?
whole thing
Rooster,
out.
do you think we should eat it for dinner? So there's a lot of pollen right now. So we're seeing a lot of pollen on the bottom of the boat. The yards do an initial pressure cleaning before they bring the boat into the yard.
I mean, I think it's reasonable shape.
Huh?
I think it's reasonable shape. There's some spots that have barnacles on it, but the running gear looks pretty good. I didn't look at the.
Once they do the initial pressure washing, then they bring the boat into the yard and they put her up on blocks. Then they brace the boat with tripods, and it's quite sturdy. Home sweet home for a bit. We're doing that ladder thing again. It's not that bad. So this is our forward head. And here's Eric. And he's gonna wiggle his little body. It's not little, but it's skinny, thank goodness. Oops, we're gonna hope he is. You okay? Deep breathing. Like Lamont stuff. He couldn't even get his arms stuck through there. Look at that.
Okay.
I don't think I want to ask him what he's doing. I know he's wiping some wetness up and he's fixing a loose wire. So anyway, this is what they call boat yoga. Could be my incentive not to lose weight. Now he's got a mirror down there. Just trying to figure out what he can see with it. My job is to play gopher so that he doesn't have to get out of there. So far in that little tiny space, he has reattached a wire. He has dried it out, then cleaned it with simple green. Then he cleaned out the shower strainer, and now he's zip tying it. Probably to keep it more secure so it doesn't come loose again.
So this red lead right there on number 3 post, supposed to be positive wire, was not into this junction box. So don't ask me how that bow thruster was working. It was working. Maybe it'll work even better now. We'll hope. And so this is the bulb. Pretty much a very confined space. There's the tunnel for the thruster motor itself here that's right in front of me, along with electricity. And then I don't know if you can see much of this, but this is the deck and the bulb, which is now clean. We had a leak in the water hose for the shower up here, so we got water into the bulb, so it had to get cleaned up before it started smelling. So we decided to replace the keel cooler. Initially it had a leak at the 2 holes there, the 2 inlet and outlet at the deck. There was a leak there, so initially wanted to try to get that leak fixed, and then started investigating heating issues on 50s, and as it turns out, at least so far, the recommendation has been to put in a different type of keel cooler, same footprint and everything else. So it should just bolt and plug and play, and but it's different. It has more surface area on the interior of the tubes on the cooler that I'll get a picture of, to have more surface area, cool the coolant more quickly. this last winter, did some research on heating issues on 5023 and the Lugger 6108 with the keel-cooled dry exhaust system. And apparently several of the 50s have had heating issues, and they were able to resolve it, or at least one that I know of, Kimberley, which is on the west coast, has had his keel cooler replaced and fixed his heating issue. So I had a leak. My existing keel cooler was leaking at the ports for the coolant through hulls, and so I wanted to get that fixed anyway. And as I was doing the research, if I could fix the heating issue, that would be great as well. So we're now at AYB, and Brian, the mechanic here at Atlantic Yacht Basin, has got 3 of the 4 through-hole bolts off, and he's also indicated it's probably a good thing we decided to do that, considering that this was the exhaust elbow on it. Yeah, that was ready to break, ready to go, ready to leak coolant all over the place. Anyway, so here's the top end of the aft portion of the keel cooler that has the input and output for the coolant coming out of the engine and into the cooler here. And then the front end of it is bolted on with these here. Fernstrom and the gentleman who had his keel cooler replaced says that the thing I bought is plug and play. Shouldn't have to do anything, just put it up in the same holes and plumber up and it should work. And so we're going to hold that thought.
So Brian was also here today and replaced the exterior seals on my port stabilizer. So that's just about all ready to go back together again. And we found out that we had the double walking nut system that was recommended by ABT. So I'm hopeful that I can return the bolts that or nuts. There are 2 nuts that go on the end of the shaft here that hold that fin on.
And so this is the exterior of the existing keel cooler. And as I said earlier, we're hopeful that the new one will cool the engine much more. Give it much more cooling.
Hanging on the bolts then probably. Oh, I just pulled mine down. Oh, here it comes. Oh, there it goes. You gotta come up on here.
Check that out.
Yeah, easy peasy.
So Brian and Jacob got the keel cooler down, and there was it had never been painted before underneath where the keel cooler, between the hull and the keel cooler. So I got some bottom paint on there. There were a lot of, a couple of oysters, barnacles, all kinds of growth. Anyway, never had paint before. Now it does.
So, how did you know you need to paint it? Did they tell you?
Nope. I just looked underneath there, and there was all kinds of growth, barnacles, oysters, and so forth. So I scraped it. They were just going to scrape it, and I asked them if I could take some time and put some paint on there. So we got some paint on there now.
So you're slowing them up a little bit. It's going to be worth it, right?
I hope so. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
When we began this, we covered all the carpeting with a wrap. We don't really like the carpeting, but we can't replace it yet, so we have to preserve it. And within the first couple of days, Eric just emptied the lazarette into the living room. It's a bit chaotic, but it works. When we moved onto the boat, we had all these yellow corners, silicone that's turned yellow. Looks awful. Here's some more. I'm working on taking it off, and then I'm guessing Eric's gonna go back in with some more that's not yellow. Feel
Last
good?
time. Last time we're going to do this. Last time.
We've been getting ours from Boats US, right? They've been great.
It's not like the last one.
Oh.
It is.
Yay!
Oh, boy. Oh, nice. Okay. That makes me feel so much better.
Okay, we're down to the stars. We did it. It's done. Now we just have the sides. Anyone want to know what the inside of Nordhavn looks like? So we have this big stain. It was small when we got the boat. And we were supposed to just seal a screw and it was going to be fine. But it's gotten steadily worse.
Right.
And we have been unable
to figure it out. So now we're going to cut some holes. Ben's going to cut some holes. I can't cut holes in my boat, so we're going to have somebody do it for me that knows what he's doing. Yeah, to screw something else up.
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going.
We have to do something. It's just getting worse and bigger.
Yeah. Well, this should tell us something. This is going to tell us something. There you go.
We had to do something. The wood was getting soft. We couldn't find the leak. Eric has tried everything. So we have to find it. Okay, he's drilled in there and it's all wet in there. Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it again. Yes, sir.
All right. All right.
Eric has poured water where we think the leak is coming from, and water came through, so we may have found it.
See that water? That's all fresh water. So, whatever it is.
So I'm going to take it up as high as I can get it, and I'm going to go as far back as I can get it.
See that seam?
Yeah.
That's right where it's, I feel like it, right where it's.
And I'm thinking it's down below. I mean,
You want me? Let me get up there and do the same.
Cock, that means that somebody else has been in there?
yeah, well, I'm built the boat to put it down with cock.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's up there. He's pouring.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's that bottom seam. It's that bottom seam, man.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. You know?
It's worth the hole.
Yeah.
And
Potentially a big day here on Havaseas. Identified the source, location of the leak that we've had on the boat since we bought her. And one of the things that has bothered me the most, one of the things that has bothered me the most about the boat is this leak, and any other leak for that matter. But this is the most, has caused the most damage. Feel that the leak is coming from the junction between the flybridge molding. This is the molding for the entire flybridge that sets down on top of the pilot house, which is this portion of the boat, and it's leaking right down here between the deck and the pilot house and the flybridge molding, and it's been soaking this area up and ruined some wood. So kind of got past the point of guessing. I'd replaced that hatch and a number of screws that run around the outside of this inset between the flybridge and the pilot house. Rebedded those screws. Didn't solve the leak. So we got to this point and just kind of said, before it causes any more damage, at the very least, we'll try to find the leak and keep it dried out. At the very most, if we're lucky, we can do some caulking and fix it completely. So not 100% because we haven't done the caulking yet, but that looks like we're much further along than we were earlier today in figuring out where this leak was coming from and getting it fixed.
We are leaving this hole open for now. We want to make sure that we have this leak before we start making any repairs. We also needed to come out of the water because our emergency swim ladder was not attached very securely at the time that the swim step went in. So we needed to get that attached better to the boat. And we are getting the hull polished as well. These guys did a nice job and they took so much pride in their work. It was great to hear them talk. Well, this boat's going to be clean from top to bottom because I can tell you that the walls are probably dusty from all the pollen. We have a ceiling to connect up higher. And it has just been pollen everywhere. So, even the seats are dirty. Look at that. It's kind of amazing. I washed them last year, so apparently this is going to be a yearly event. I had to order more leather cleaner. And we're going to be washing the the pillowcases too. You know what she's doing? She's burying food in there. Like there's a chance that she might not get fed. Distin. Distin. You know I see where you're putting it. Distin. You're a crazy little dog. Independent. Self-sufficient. Yep, they were pretty dirty. Look at that. Just what your side worked on. I'm using a brush and some of this leather cleaner, and then next I'll go over it with the leather conditioner. After a week and a half of being on the hard, we get to go back in the water today. Actually, I've been really impressed. There hasn't been a single day that somebody hasn't been working on our boat, so I don't feel like we had any wasted days. We got the hull polished. They finished yesterday so we could get in. I think they got to us before someone else. Hi. We've got paint on our props. Eric's not convinced at this point that prop speed is worth the cost. So I don't know what he did, but it's painted. I forgot the exciting thing. We have our new heel cooler, so we're gonna see what that does. We have the stabilizers sealed and back on the boat. I think next year we might have to paint. And everything's cleaned up our bow thrusters. Oh, I forgot to say also, we got our engine service. They were due for service at a certain number of hours, so we got that done as well. Okay.
So we're just getting the boat put back in the water after 10 days on the hard here at AYB. And I think it was a good experience. About the only downside that we know about so far, we're not all the way done yet. We've got a couple things yet to finish up. But the pollen there's a mess on the boat to clean up because we didn't have air conditioning or anything running. So it was hot the first week we were here. But it's cold. I cooled off the last 3 or 4 days. But yeah, we're going back in the water. Always nice to be in the water.
And it was nice because I don't feel like we waited for anybody. No. Somebody was always here working on it. We knew what was going to go on. They're very busy. I asked to get some more work done, cosmetic work, and they said they didn't have the time. So they're very busy right now, and you can see the number of boats going by here on the intercoastal since we've been here has increased significantly. So, but they manage it, and yeah, the mechanical crew, the ground, the Sebastian here on the crane, yeah, I'm impressed. I'd come back. So the exact same thing is coming out, but opposite. Mija. We're gonna put the slings on her. It's nice to see it go back in the water. It's just not natural to be out of the water. Well, she's in the water. They have fenders on the dock, so that's nice. Feels so good to be back in the water. It really does. It was fine. It was not bad. Hot for a while. Pollen-y for a while. But it was not bad. So now we're going to go run the boat a little bit and then tie it up to the dock. We have a few more things to get done. It was fun watching the kids crew up and down the ICW. We are getting off the dock today, headed back up to Solomon's. We have a few more tasks. We've got a list still. It's about 9:17. We're going to make the 10 o'clock opening here on the bridge in the locks. Eric has added a little bit of water. Spent yesterday cleaning up the boat, so salon's clean. Need a little put away still in the kitchen. That tends to be our workspace when we've got things going. But we're ready to head out. We have Raymat behind us. Chatted with them yesterday. That was nice. Well, it wasn't pretty, but we're off. Give me a big smile for the
people at home. I'm watching out for this one.
Here we go. We're just reversing how we got here, so it's gonna be about the same. Shout out to the MLAB who hailed us on the radio. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all of you who are joining in our journey.
Havaseas you next time.